welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to do something a little bit unusual, but I promise you it is absolutely fascinating. We're going to take a highly focused, almost anthropological look at a tiny, seemingly mundane cultural artifact. Why? Well, because sometimes it's the smallest, weirdest fragments of the internet that reveal the most profound truths about modern audience psychology and exactly how we consume personal brands. We are living right in the middle of an era of digital monoculture. It's a world where certain figures reach a level of absolute ubiquity that honestly rivals the biggest pop stars or politicians of past decades. But how do we, the audience, actually process that level of fame? What do we do when we feel like we already know literally everything about someone? By deeply analyzing a single, unedited piece of source text today, we're going to uncover some really hidden paradoxes of digital consumption. Let's get right into it. Okay, so let's dive into this text. Our entire source material for today's explainer is brief. It completely lacks punctuation, and it reads like this frantic late-night search query or a prompt fed straight into a machine. It says, "We all know MrBeast, but describe briefly something else that no one knows about it. Write some different aspects of his life rather than YouTube." We are looking at this exact unedited text today, treating this brief little inquiry as our primary lens into digital culture. Now, on the surface, sure, it's just someone asking for trivia, but look beneath that surface, and it is a perfectly distilled snapshot of modern human desire. It captures exactly how we interact with the titans of our digital age. And this brings us to a really fascinating, almost philosophical starting point. It forces us to ask a totally crucial question. Why does a viewer, when faced with ubiquitous internet fame, immediately seek out the void of the unknown? I mean, think about it for a second. The subject of this text is arguably the most documented human being in digital history. There are thousands of hours of high-definition video available to literally anyone with an internet connection, and yet, the author of our source text, they're not satisfied. It turns out the sheer volume of content actually triggers a hunger for what isn't on the screen. It highlights this really fundamental quirk in our psychology. Basically, the more visible a person becomes, the more deeply we suspect there's a hidden reality being kept from us. We don't just want to watch the show anymore. We want to peek right behind the curtain. Now, what is truly mind-blowing here is how the text just assumes total universal knowledge of the creator before it even formulates its actual request. Just look at that phrasing, "we all know him." It doesn't ask if we know him. It doesn't bother providing any background context. Within the ecosystem of this tiny text, this individual is no longer just some guy making videos. He's a baseline of reality. He's defined strictly as a ubiquitous entity. And honestly, this is the very definition of digital monoculture. In a highly fragmented internet, where we all have our own hyper-niche algorithms and completely personalized feeds, the text posits that there is still a shared collective baseline. To the writer of this text, knowing this figure is as assumed as knowing the sky is blue. And this right here brilliantly illustrates the paradox of modern fame. It's the stark tension between our collective assumption of knowing a public figure and our absolute insatiable craving for exclusive, hidden fragments. The source text literally shoves these two concepts into direct opposition within a single sentence. What we all know is positioned right up against what no one knows. As an audience, we're immensely proud of our collective cultural knowledge, right? We like being part of the we all know crowd. But simultaneously, we desperately want the VIP pass. We want that secret knowledge that elevates us way above the general audience. It's exactly like being at a massive stadium concert, but desperately wanting to know what the lead singer is whispering to the guitarist backstage. We want the intimacy of knowing something that the rest of the millions of viewers don't. So, moving along, the crucial point here is how the text demands a fast, easily consumable nugget of the unknown. Notice those two words, describe briefly. The author wants a deep, hidden secret, something that no one knows, but they definitely don't want to read a sprawling 500-page biography. They want it summarized. They want it punchy. And this brilliantly captures the modern attention span. It maintains the rapid speed of internet consumption, even when asking for highly private, hidden details. We want profound intimacy, sure, but we want it delivered with the efficiency of a fast food drive-thru. It's such a fascinating contradiction. We're seeking the deep, authentic, unseen reality of a human life, but we are demanding it in bite-sized, scrollable formatting. Let's see how this builds. The inquiry shifts from a general desire for something else to a very specific craving, different aspects of his life. Here we're seeing the audience trying to uncover the raw human layers beneath that polished creator persona. It's this tacit acknowledgement that the persona we see on screen is a construct, a flat image, no matter how energetic or genuine it appears. The phrase "different aspects of his life" is a search for dimensionality. Now, for a professional audience like us, this is usually where that intense craving for productivity hacks kicks in. We look at a digital titan and we immediately think, okay, how do they actually manage their time? What are their hidden habits and personal hobbies away from the cameras? It's a lot like looking at a beautifully built towering skyscraper and demanding to see the architectural blueprints and the plumbing. The audience knows a human being is multifaceted, and they feel a real sense of deprivation when they're only presented with one hyper-optimized, high-retention angle. They're essentially asking for proof of life beyond the algorithm. Now, there is a very important number to consider here: 0. It's fascinating to observe that within this source text we're analyzing, there are exactly 0 factual details provided about his actual private life. You might have noticed we haven't discussed his actual hobbies, his specific time management skills, or his personal habits, and that's because none of that exists in the source material. This text isn't a database of facts. It is purely an expression of an audience void, just waiting to be filled. It's a completely empty vessel. The text tells us absolutely nothing about the creator, but man, it tells us absolutely everything about the person writing it. It reveals the exact shape of their curiosity and the precise dimensions of what they feel is missing from their daily media diet. And then we arrive at this stark, isolated phrase at the very end of the text: rather than YouTube. This is incredibly powerful. It represents the ultimate direct demand from the modern audience to completely decouple reality from the platform that built it. Just think about the irony here for a second. The platform is the sole reason we all know him. The platform is the actual architecture of this entire monoculture. Yet the final demand of the consumer is to strip that platform away entirely. It's a literal act of rebellion against the screen itself. The user is basically saying, I reject the medium through which I know you in order to know the real you. It highlights a massive, growing audience fatigue with highly produced digital environments and a really desperate yearning for something that feels unmediated, unstructured, and completely unplugged. So to wrap up this explainer, we have to leave you meditating on this final thought, which is directly inspired by that core tension in our source text. Can we ever truly separate the human from the screen once the digital monoculture has fully taken hold? If a person's entire existence in the public eye has been optimized, quantified, and broadcast for maximum retention, does a different aspect even exist in the way the audience hopes it does? Or does the act of revealing that hidden private life simply turn it into just another piece of content to be consumed briefly, fast, and on a screen? It's a wild paradox that really defines our current era. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the underlying currents of our digital world. Until next time, keep questioning the media you consume, and definitely keep looking closely at the words we type right into the void.